Huge thank you to Toyota of Naperville for letting me borrow the car in this video. Toyota of Naperville is one of the largest Toyota dealers in Illinois, ready to find the right car for you. Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach, and today I am driving a 2023 Toyota bZ4X Limited. Below me are two electric motors as well as a single-speed transmission. Now, I am super excited to be driving this bZ4X because it is one of Toyota's first EVs, but this is a collaboration between Toyota and Subaru. I've already driven the Subaru Solterra, of which I'll leave at the end of this video if you'd like to compare and contrast. But I think there are a couple interesting and unique differences between the two, and I'm always excited to get behind the wheel of a new EV. But before we get on to anything else, I have a website, ZackPradle.com, where you can buy stickers and other merchandise when it becomes available. You can also submit your own vehicle to be reviewed by me through a quick and easy submission form, and you get a video of your car just like this one. And you could read my behind-the-scenes blog to see what I'm filming before it comes out on the channel. But let's get back to that all-electric drivetrain. Well, the bZ4X, unlike its Subaru brother, does not come with standard all-wheel drive. Now, this one does have all-wheel drive, and so it has two electric motors, one at the front and one at the back, where the standard two-wheel drive would just have a single motor up at the front. Altogether, it makes 215 horsepower, where if you got the front-wheel drive version, it actually only makes 201. So you get 14 extra horsepower by adding an extra motor. Range is okay. EPA estimates 222 miles in the city, 228 miles on the highway, although independent reports have shown a little bit less than that. I found it really interesting that the Subaru comes standard with all-wheel drive, however you have to option it for the Toyota, and I'm honestly pleasantly surprised by the power and driving experience. How does it feel to actually drive the bZ4X? Well, it's really nice to drive. It's quiet, it's calm, it's collected. Doesn't have too harsh of a ride, but also not too soft. It's not going to be an uber premium ride. But overall, visibility is really good for an EV and for a modern car, and that's what I like to see. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I do have an all-digital gauge cluster that's really far away from me. I can customize it a little bit. I can swap through a couple options here. It's not my favorite, although I do like the design of it. It does feel very cyberpunk, sort of new and interesting, but in functionality, it's not the best. It's a little far away from my taste. On the steering wheel, on the left, we have the back button, phone options, selectors, volume, and voice commands. And off to the right, we do have our cruise control settings. So this does have adaptive cruise control as well as lane keep assist, which is really nice. And again, the steering wheel, when it's straight on, it sort of molds into the steering column, which I really like. And it does look different. It looks unique. It almost looks out of like a race car or something like that. It has these hard edges, but also soft lines. It's a very interesting feel and feels very modern. Off to the left, I do have a climate control vent, automatic headlights, and my tailgate release. Then moving on to the door, we have the power mirrors, power locks, and power windows. Moving into the center, we do get a pretty decently sized information screen. This will run your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto wirelessly, as well as you could go through the vehicle selections. This is Toyota's brand new infotainment system. They're finally starting to roll it out in a lot of their other vehicles. It's very nice to see, and I actually think it works really well. Down below that, we have the volume and power button, and then we have our climate controls. I like that these climate controls are physical and not just ran through a screen like a Tesla. And I do get dual zone, I get heated windshield, heated seats, heated steering wheel, and I do get ventilated seats as well, which are all very nice features. Then I do have the power button, climate control vents, and hazard switch, and then we come to the center console. Off to the left, I have the power parking brake, brake hold, and my one pedal button. So this will enable one pedal driving if that's something that you'd like. The shifters in the center, it is weird. It's a different sort of shifter than I'm used to. You push this ring down and then left for reverse, right for drive, center for neutral, and then park is its own button. Again, something I haven't quite seen in other Toyota products, so it's kind of interesting to see it here. Off to the right, we do have eco mode. We have our view button, so this will give me a 360 camera, as well as, this is very, very cool about the camera. It will somewhat record what was in front of you, so as you drive, you have to sort of get out of your own little black box, but then the car on the screen becomes completely clear, so you can actually see what is directly below you. I have not seen a 360 camera do this, and I think that that is incredibly smart and incredibly cool. Then we do have our traction control off and X mode, which is quite funny because X mode is the all-wheel drive settings for Subaru products. So although this whole interior feels very, very Toyota, this is actually a Subaru feature and is branded from Subaru. So kind of interesting to see that here in the bZ4X. I know they do share chassis, but I'm surprised they didn't change the name. That's like Wendy's offering a McDouble. Just doesn't seem right. Then we do get this little cubby. I get a wireless charger in here, but the lid of the cubby is actually see-through, which is very, very unique and kind of adds a fun little feel to the interior. Then we do have cup holders. So we will do a big friggin' bottle test here in the 2023 Toyota bZ4X, and unfortunately it fails. The Solterra has the exact same cup holder, so I knew it was gonna fail going into this, but still sad to see, nevertheless. Then I do get a center console and the seats. The seats are leather. Like I said, they are heated and they are ventilated, which is all very, very nice and I'm pleasantly enjoying, and definitely one of the perks of the Limited over the XSE. But speaking of seats, we do have back seats, so let's go do a back seat review. All right, so we're in the back of the 2023 Toyota bZ4X. Couple of things to note. First of all, actual space is great. Knees are not hitting the seat in front of me. Head's not hitting the ceiling. I can sit pretty comfortably. I also do get a center console with 2 cup holders, and I get 2 USB-C chargers, and I have heated seats back here, which I am pleasantly enjoying on this freezing, freezing morning. I also get to enjoy this sky roof, I guess if you want to call it. There is this bar in the middle, but it's actually one continuous piece, which is sort of interesting. But overall, I think this is kind of the perfect golden size for SUVs because they have comfortable back seats, but they're not trying to squeeze a 3rd row in, which I really, really like. So I get to enjoy all the space and all the pleasure of the back half of the automobile. Speaking of the back half of the automobile, let's hop around back. We'll take a quick look at the trunk and cargo space. Then we'll talk about the looks, and I apologize about the wind noise in advance. All right, so we're on the back of the bZ4X. Button here, come down and press it. And there we are in the back. We do get a JBL sound system throughout the car, which is very nice. However, I don't seem to get a 12-volt outlet, which I would have liked. Not the end of the world. We can pull up this mat, pull this up, and we have our charger and things like that down below. Definitely nothing too crazy or too out of this world, but definitely an ample amount of space back here, which I love to see. Now we gotta talk about the looks, and this is probably the most interesting part of the bZ4X. It looks very weird, it looks very different, but I actually think I like it a little bit better in this white color, and it definitely looks more Toyota than it does Subaru. I praise the Subaru Solterra for being wacky and weird and different than anything in Subaru's lineup, and I like that. This actually fits more in with the RAV4, fits in with the new Highlander, things like that. It's not, of course, an exact copy, but I like it nevertheless. So with all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think now driving Toyota's version of this vehicle, the bZ4X? Well, here's the thing. The main thing, the only real thing I don't like about this car is the name. The name is ridiculous. It's dumb. They shouldn't have done it. And I think in a year, Toyota will agree with me. BZ means beyond zero for beyond zero emissions because it's electric. The 4 is because it's a similar size to the RAV4. And the X is because it's a compact crossover. If Mazda did this with their like CX-50s and MXs, it kind of makes sense. A weird jumbling of letters and numbers makes sense for them. Same would go for a lot of other brands, but Toyota has always had very strong names. Corolla, Camry, Highlander, Sequoia, Tundra, Tacoma. These are all very, very strong and very understandable names. There's no secret code that goes into them. And so now Toyota is bringing a new EV to the market and they named it the bZ4X. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't go along with everything they've ever done. And when you're trying to get a new car off the ground, I feel like it could use all the help it could get, and the name is not doing it any favors. But getting past the name, how does it actually drive as an automobile? I quite like it. The biggest thing that I love about this is the size, really. It's not too big, not too small. 2 comfy rows of seating, some trunk space, that's all you need. It's not trying to push a 3rd row. It's also not a compact like the old outgoing CHR or Toyota Corolla Cross. The driving feel is great. It's smooth, it's quiet. It's what I expect out of an electric vehicle. I think it's interesting looking. I don't totally love it, but I also don't hate it. So that's pretty neutral for me. But overall, I think this is a good car, and I love seeing new EVs coming to market. They always get me excited, and it's cool to see Toyota and Subaru collaborating on more than just the BRZ/GR86. They're expanding their partnership, and I hope that it can only bring more good things. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Toyota of Naperville for letting me take out their bZ4X. They have a couple of these on the lot, as well as they are using one right now as their customer shuttle. So if you need to get picked up and brought to the dealership for your car's oil change, you just might get picked up in a bZ4X, which is really, really unique. Toyota of Naperville is absolutely awesome. We've been working together for years, and I cannot recommend them enough. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.